Hey, I heard you like Mardu Knights. Me too. Let's talk about it. So this is my Mardu Knights aggro list I've been working on for the past couple of weeks. I'm very happy with where it's at right now. It's doing pretty good in the meta, so let's jump right into it. One drops we're playing include 4 Venerable Knight, 2 Felmire Knight, 4 Knight of the Ebon Legion, 4 Fervent Champion with a 1-off Shadow Spear. We're also playing 4 Blacklands Paragon, 4 Smitten Swordmaster, 4 Inspiring Veteran, and 4 Sky Knight Vanguard in the 2-drop slot. 3 drops include 2 Unbreakable Formation, 2 Midnight Reaper, we're playing 4 Ember Cleaves, and 21 land. And so I want to talk to you about optimal sequencing in this deck. The most aggressive start we can have is multiple Fervent Champions, be that 2 or 3 by turn 2, and we can also get a Shadow Spear down and equipped with our Fervent Champions on turn 2 as well. So in many ways, the Shadow Spear acts as the 5th copy of Fervent Champion. But if we can't just be playing multiple of one of the best 1-drops in Standard, then we want to be playing around Knight of the Ebon Legion's passive ability, which means we want to be dealing 4 damage on turn 2 in order to plus him with a +1/+1 counter. And so we have a lot of lines of play to get there. I have a little cheat sheet right here. If you can't just only play Fervent Champions and Shadow Spears, you can open Fervent Champion, Knight of the Ebon Legion, or you can open Knight of the Ebon Legion, Fervent Champion, and so both of those lines of play will deal the same amount of damage over time, assuming no blockers, which is 5 damage by turn 2, at least 4 damage on turn 2, and you'll +1/+1 counter the Knight of the Ebon Legion. You can also open with the Venerable Knight, and then on the next turn play the Fervent Champion and swing for 4 damage, +1/+1 counter on the Knight of the Ebon Legion. And if you can't only play creatures, you can open with Knight of the Ebon Legion and then play a Fervent Champion and a Shadow Spear to deal 4 damage turn 2, +1/+1 counter, and you're gaining a little bit of lifelink damage there. And if you can't get your Spear out, you have 2 lines of play where you can go Venerable Knight, Ebon Legion, swing for 2, and then Curry Favor. And then you can also open with Ebon Legion, play a Fervent Champion, and then Curry Favor as well. And so if you're not able to play multiple Fervent Champions, 2 Fervent Champions and a Shadow Spear, and if you're not totally able to build around Knight of the Ebon Legion's +1/+1 counter strat, then you can go for a turn 3 Ember Cleave, which would include you could play 3 creatures on turns 1 and 2, hit the 3rd land, and then Ember Cleave, or you could play any of the 1-drop bodies, and then the Sky Knight Vanguard, who, when it swings on turn 3, will produce an extra body. And so if you have your 3rd land, you can get your turn 3 Ember Cleave out. And if you can't do those, you can play your Lords and then just try to beat down from there. So that's pretty much the deck. Some parts I want to talk about. The 2 Felmire Knights are here for red and other aggro decks, as the Death Touch is very annoying for them. And then the 2 Midnight Reapers here, this is for control, just to give us a little bit of mid-game value against too many board wipes, Unbreakable Formation, a little protection against sweepers, and another almost kind of our 5th and 6th copies of Ember Cleave. So that's the deck, and I hope you enjoy the gameplay. On the play, instant keep. We'll get right in there. And we'll see what sort of interaction opponent has. I think I'll play the Sky Knight Vanguard, because one of our creatures is getting shocked, and I'd like to keep the Veteran and double Champion. Opponent keeping us off of potential turn 3 Ember Cleave as well. I think we'll just play this one out again. It would be nice to double spell with the Lord and the Fervent Champion. Maybe another Stomp. See if we can't hit that 3rd land or another 1-drop. So this will grow. Maybe we'll see just a big giant coming out. And then these will be for striking for 3 or 4 damage on these. Still gonna go with the Lord here. And we don't want to trade here, so we'll just hold back. And we're building a nice little board. Opponent has yet to show us a lucky clover. So they have just a bunch of 1/1s. Ideally, we'll hit a land. See if we can just swing in for lethal here. Go to blockers. Alright, good game, Kite Taja. On the play with 2 Venerable Knights and a Shadow Spear. Into Smitten Swordmaster. I'll keep it because I'm curious to see how it plays out. Basically, I want to see if the deck has legs without Fervent Champion. Go for Skynet Vanguard here. Swing for 2. So opponent on either Azorius or Azorius Control or just Kite Fires, probably Azorius Control. Just trying to be mana efficient here, just in case of a potential board wipe right now. We're looking at some sort of Ritualist, most likely. So we'll hold back the Swordsmaster with no Oath of Kaya. We already have lethal on board.
Trust me, you'll thank me later. I've got time.
So we're getting punished for not banking on them missing their land drop. Something to consider. And that'll do it if I can think clearly. And if we attacked the Teferi, he would have gained the life from the Oath of Kaya as well. Good game, Khan. 2 red sources, which has been a problem for us for the past couple games. Decent curve. No Fervent champions, though. So we'll slam it and play our knight, which blocks favorably. We'll take the shock, we'll take the infuriate. We'll take the lava coil. I think I'll preserve the life total here. Guess we'll be mana efficient here. As for damage, even though we're not gaining any life, it's a free land. So we could play an Embercleave next turn, but I don't think we're supposed to because it looks like they're going to hit us with theirs pretty fast. So hopefully we can live through the Embercleave and cast our own. Down to 2, we'll see if they have the shock or the stomp. And unfortunately we're not dealing enough damage this game. Good game, Adriano. Opponent goes first. We don't have any 1-drops, so that's going to be a mulligan. A much more explosive hand. Pitch the tournament ground. Which, now that I get rid of it, was not the correct keep. So we'll go Fervent, Ebon Fervent. Hopefully opponent plays no blocks. And this will still be in optimal sequencing. Excellent. And actually, Ebon, Fervent, and Fervent, Ebon, Fervent do the same damage. So, pitching the tournament ground was a fine keep so far.
Let's get moving.
Alright, opponent's ramping pretty hard. Just thinking about if we should kill the Kiora or not. So next turn they play a land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the difference between 6 and 8 mana for Krasis, which is a 3 and 4. So we'll just go face here. Hopefully we don't get hit with a huge mass manip.
The ocean surges, life thrives.
Probably a big Hydroid Krasis. So that Krasis is significantly bigger than I thought it would be. We'll go Shadow Spear, equip for free. Swing in. We want to spread it. Hopefully we'll have him go on the first striker. He goes on the grower. And if we can hit another red source, we'll drop an Ember Cleave next turn, which should be overwhelming damage. Cavalier of Thorns, pretty good blocker against us. See if they can double spell.
I love to make a splash.
Another Cavalier. We keep having bad red sources. Gotta think about it. An opponent scoops. Good game. This will be... oh, there's... yeah, okay. One red source. I think this hand might be bad, but we're going to keep it anyway. Smack him with the Fervent Champion. Next turn, we'll probably play the Vet. Razor. not putting any damage in anyway. This will put us super wide. This opens us up to a turn 3 Embercleave. If we can hit the third land, hit the second red source. Goose. Grazer. No lands. So we could play the Vet and the Shadow Spear, or we could play the Embercleave. Alright, we'll take out both of the Grazers. And we'll see if we just played into a big surprise board wipe. Just a Reef, huh? It's an interesting spell. Oh, we only have 2 red sources. Sorry, Fervent Champion. I guess we'll put it here. Go to blocks. One, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, or we could kill the goose. I think we'll do the damage here. We could put it on the Vanguard so we could equip later for free. We do have another Fervent Champion though, and this way we get the lifelink. I doubt we'll see anything like an unsummon. Probably gonna see a scoop here in a sec. Unsummon? No. Alright, good game, Kerbushard. We'll go first. Good curve, good lands. Opponent revealing their Sphinx of a Foresight. So we'll slam another land, play our Vanguard, get in for 2. Invite the removal spell onto the Vanguard. Alright, so we made it past the shock with our 3 toughness creature. Let's see if they play a white and a Deafening Clarion. So play another Vanguard out. the Sphinx. So opponent not falling for the Paragon bait there. So we'll just go wide. Opponent may or may not be happy to sweep the board again with their own Sphinx of Foresight out. They might play a land and time wipe us. Oh, or just play Deafening Clarion, duh. Alright, well this game's pretty much over. So hopefully we can hit a land off the top and make a very brave Black Lance Paragon. But would not want to see Teferi here to push our one creature back to hand. Preying on land. Opponent not gonna block. Could have moved the lifelink over to the veteran, but I'm still just trying to put the Embercleave on the field. Opponent could swing out here. Uh-oh. Another big body and we're probably out of the game. Oh no! It's Kenrith, who can give all creatures haste and trample. Puts us to 2, and a land will give us lethal. Not quite lethal. Alright, good game, Niv. We're just one land away from victory there. This curve is fine, so we'll keep. We have 2 red sources. We can play a creature right into the shock. But what's really good is these ones. We want these to live. Opponent's stealing our Shadow Spear, so that's a pretty big nightmare situation as well. Guess we'll just have to try to kill it with a Black Lance Paragon. Pass 2 attacks. I guess we can resolve that. Taking our Smitten Swords Master. Probably just gonna eat another Shock or Stomp here. So opponent definitely casting our spear. Sticking out a Rimrock Knight, so this really sucks. We'll flash our Paragon again. And next turn we could play a Lord and swing with 4 creatures and drop the Embercleave. Although we might just die. It looks like the tempo, life gain, blah blah blah. So misplay from opponent. Man, we could have killed the Torbrand. Steamkin and X. No blocks. Ah, that lifelink is murdering us. Fervent Champion. Unbreakable Formation. Big swing. There is only a 3 toughness blocker on the ground, so 3 on the ground will be fine. And we'll see if we can get there. Ooh, opponent at 2. And it's nice to have 2 different first striking blockers. No trample, just the Fervent Champion. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have to block everything. Just gonna think pretty hard. I got some sounds going on in the background over here. So as long as any one creature lives, I will win the game. Which means that guy deals 4 damage. Ah, we got lords on the field. The smallest amount of damage being dealt is 4. We're going to use a lot of rope here. That guy will live. Oh, he has lifelink. One more rope to go. That dies. These 2 will kill each other. Opponent will go to 5. Can we take 1 hit? Yeah. I think that's it. And then opponent can equip the Shadow Spear, but nothing can block. And they're dead on board. We got there, folks. Good game, Beard of Legend. Alright, so that's the deck. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. The deck is something I'm pretty satisfied with. I think it's very competitive. I don't think it's as good as Mono Red, but I think it has a really good matchup against Mono Red. I'm still tweaking, still tinkering a little bit with the list. I'm pretty happy with the Foulmire Knight. I think one Shadow Spear is fine. Midnight Reaper I'm actually liking a lot. I'll probably move up to 3 or 4. Unbreakable Formation, sometimes I totally think it doesn't fit, but then I'll win games purely because of it. So yeah, those are the only 3 cards that I'm really thinking about too much. The Foulmire, the Midnight, and the Unbreakable Formation. Other than that, the Embercleave feels good. Most of the bodies feel pretty good. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. I'm just going to pop over to my Mythic rank profile really quick, and we can do the rest of the outro there. Alright, so the season's going to end here in about a minute. We finished up in Mythic, which I'm very happy about. Started making videos for this YouTube channel down in the silver tier. Had never gone above gold tier before, so it's really nice to end up in the top. We're down at 97%, something I didn't concern myself with too much this season, but do tune in next season for the ranking up videos again and to see how high we can get into Mythic, probably with Mardu Knights. So we'll just go ahead and claim our rewards here for getting a Mythic Tier 1. 5 packs, 1,000 coins, and some cosmetics.